This is history. The chief rabbinate of Africa presents the Siddur Sambatayim. The Siddur, neither Sephardic nor Ashkenazi but Afriki. Reconnect with the pure ancestral traditions of your Bantu Israelite ancestors, with a new sack of tefillah that perfectly combines the halakhot of the Mishnah and the minhagim of the Mekabalim. With the new sack of Friki, live the Black Man Torah, with the first Siddur published and printed in Africa. To grab your Siddur, only one address: Beth Nesset, Bantu Israel Synagogue, Lagos, 27 Canal View Drive, Agokota off Ago Palace Way, Lagos, Nigeria. Mobile number, +2348035382223. Only 35,000 naira, delivery included.
Shalom, shalom to all of you. Boker Tov u'mevorach, Chodesh Tov u'mevorach, Chodesh Elul, the month of repentance, the month of Teshuvah. Shalom, shalom to everybody on Facebook. Shalom to all of you on YouTube. We will continue our weekly study. We are basically going back to a normal schedule. We will be connected to the parasha, and we will be studying Parashat Vaetchanan. Today, we will try to discover truth, wisdom that will help us, Jewish people, but also specifically the Bantu Israelite, to understand more about our identity, our culture, and the way to live Torah according to the highest level of the Mekubalim and the respect of our ancestors' transmission. So, shalom, shalom to Rabbi Eliyahu Shimidia. Shalom, shalom, Rabbeinu. Welcome,
Rabbeinu. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Kodesh Tov.
Kodesh Tov. Toda rabba. So, we will, like usual, we will start. The study of today will be for sure, it has to be deep, but it will be a bit long because we're gonna open many gates, and every single gate that will be opened, we will try to connect it with the history, our history, and what we are going through, thanks to the Torah or because of humans being mindset. But like usual, we have to introduce the topic. We have to introduce the subject and to create a way to see the sayings of our sages. So before we start, like usual, we have to go through the Edi Torah. Edi Torah, Parashat Vaetchanan. How the lake of love for the law killed or is killing the tradition of the Bantu Israelite. The historical omnipresence of the Christian religion in the Bantu Israelite families is the most beautiful proof of that success of the invasion strategy from the European empires or kingdom and their armed wing, namely the missionaries. The sale at all cost of the pseudo Christian grace is in all our territories, nourished by the lake of love for our own ethnicity, for our own culture, for especially our own tradition and spirituality, initially rooted in the Torah. That lake will be the most beautiful creation of what I call the irresponsibility and the religious immaturity. Because how can we talk about grace without laws and application of law? This weapon of disaffection with the law is as violent and inhuman as the slave trade, colonization, neo-colonization, or even the fight for civil rights. So, in order to go deeper and to understand and to find solution, let's study. So, Bezat Hashem, like I have said, Shalom Shalom to Rabbanit Catherine and Shalom Shalom to Rabbi Chaim ben Yosef. So, the purpose of this limud will be to try to understand how come we see in our generation, among the Bantu Israelites, not only them, but also among most of the what we can call secular Jews, a disaffection for the laws. What is the consequences of that situation? And we will see even that this is the way that the plan was made in order to fight back the success and the abundance that was connected to our lands. But enough talk, let's go and study. We will go in the introduction of Rabbeinu Ben Ishchai in his book of Halacha, the first year, Parashat Vaetchanan, as you can see. I just showed to you the global pages. So we'll have few texts to read. You see, it's from here, and we'll have all this to read. I will read fast, but we will build it together. And the purpose for the Ben Ishchai in this parasha is to understand what is the secret meaning of the blessing that ones have to say when you will smell some herbs or some trees, portion of trees, or any type of perfume, meaning the blessing on the besamim. What is the secret behind smelling good perfume from herbs or from any type of roots or trees which possess smells? So what the connection between this halachot and the story of disaffection for laws? Let's start with Hashem. Feel free, like usual, if you have any question, we can open the topics and go for more information. So I hope you see my screen. Yes, it's okay. Can you see my screen? It's okay? Yes, I think. Okay. Let's start. He said like this. He said, we will try to understand the one pasuk, one verse of his parasha, saying, Veshamartem et hamitzvah ve'et החוקים ואת המשפטים אשר אנוכי מצווך היום לעשותם. So he said, you will keep the orders, the law. Basically, let's keep the terms in Hebrew. We have three terms to describe laws in Hebrew. The first one is mitzvah, the second one is chukim, and the last one is mishpatim. This is three different words used to say laws. And he said in this parasha, you will have to keep them because I'm giving you the order to apply and to make them happen. This is in Deuteronomy, Devarim, Zain, Yud, Aleph. Just please let me know if you can see my screen. Is it okay, Rabbi Eliyahu Shemita, you see my screen? I want to be sure because internet can be slow. Or on YouTube, Facebook, can you see my screen? Okay. So if I translate it in, let's say in good English, it will be, "Thou shalt therefore keep the commandment, the statute, and the ordinances that I command thee this day to do them." So we have three levels of laws that are commandment, statute, and ordinance. This is basically what we call mitzvah, chukim, and mishpatim. Commandment, it's mitzvah. Statute, it's chukim. And ordinances, it's mishpatim. So let's see what the Ben Ish Chai says. Let's start. He said like this. He said, נראה לי בסייעתא דשמיא דידוע, תרי"ג מצוות הם שלושה מינים. He said, look, we all know that the Torah, living a life of Torah, is based on the fact of keeping 613 laws, mitzvot. And he said, if you take all the 613 mitzvot, we know that they are divided in three different categories. Yesh nikraim chukim. You have the one called chukim, statute, like we said. Chukim she'en la'em ta'am. He said, what is the identity of chukim, meaning statute? He said, they have no taste. En la'em ta'am, they have no taste. Ve'en asechel mechayev otam. And not only that, it can be very hard for you, your logicality, to understand them and to get the point about the chukim, which are the statute. After, we say, V'yesh nikraim mitzvah, mitzvat bestam shesh la'em tam. And he say, after that, the second statute, it's what we call the commandment. He say, that commandment, generally, they are meaningful. They are meaningful. אך אין השכל מחייב אותם שאם לא ציווינו השם יתברך לא היינו עושים אותם מדעתנו. So he said, even if they can be meaningful, but we do keep them only because we receive the orders from Hashem. Meaning, if we were leading our life by our own, will not maybe conclude that that type of commandment should be kept. So I said that's why it's not the mindset of human beings. It can be meaningful, but it's not in the mindset or the logicality of human beings. ויש נקראים משפטים. And said the last one, it's mishpatim. Mishpatim, it's what we can call the ordinances, mishpatim. And he said, the mishpatim, shesh lahem tam, they are meaningful also. והשכל מחייב אותם. He said, but you and me, we can understand their logicality. It's meaningful also in our way of life, way of mind, way of thinking, to say, oh, it's normal that we have that type of laws to keep. שגם אם לא היינו מצויים מאת השם, יתברך היינו מחויבים לקיימם מדעתנו. Meaning, even if HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God himself, Hashem, will not have asked to us to keep them, we will, by the time, maybe conclude to apply these behaviors like laws by our own logicality. וידוע, דאי אפשר אדם אחד לקיים כל תרי"ג מצוות בפעולת על ידי המחשבה שהוא יושב ומצפה מתי תבוא לידי מצווה זו ויקיימנה, או הלוואי שהייתי שייך במצווה זו ויקיימנה, נחשב לו בזה כאילו קיים כולם, ולפי זה אפשר שביום אחד יקיים אדם כל תרי"ג מצוות, אם יהיה במחשבה על כל מצווה בפני עצמה, וזו שכתוב ושמרתם את המצווה, מלשון ואביו שמח את הדבר. שתהיה מצווה למין הנקרא בשם המצווה בסתם, ולמין הנקרא בשם חוקים, ולמין הנקרא בשם המשפטים, דאלו הם כללות כל תרי"ג מצוות. הנה, בזה תרוויח אפילו היום הזה, כלומר ביום אחד בלבד, נחשב לך כאילו עשיתם בפועל. So what is he saying in Ben Ishai here? He said like this. He said, look, we all know that it's impossible to apply or to keep all the 613 mitzvot. It's impossible. Why? Because some mitzvot, they are very specific for women, and not everybody is a woman. Some mitzvot are very specific for the Levite, for the Kohanim, and not everybody is a Levite, not everybody is a Kohen. And some mitzvot are specific for the kings. Some mitzvot are specific according to ages, to the time. There are a lot of mitzvot that cannot be kept by everybody according to the natural selection, let's say. So based on that, we have a problem. Shalom, shalom, Rabbi Johnny Heitzman. So we have a problem. So that problem is to know, how can we do? How can we do to respect what the Torah is saying, that you have received today some ordinances, some commandment, some statute, keep them today. Metzavecha ayom. You see, I'm telling you today, like it written in the pasuk. Metzavecha ayom. Sorry. Ayom. Here. Ayom. So he said, what is the ayom? He said, we have to understand one thing. We know that physically, we cannot do all the 613 mitzvot, but by the thought, what we call marshavot, yes, we can make it happen. Meaning, when you have a desire to have the possibility to make that mitzvah, or when you study that mitzvah from a book to read the different aspects of the way to make it happen, of its explanations. So basically, you will be considered like someone who apply and respect that mitzvah. That's why thinking and studying a mitzvah is considered like you applying it. You can be there studying the laws of mourning. You can be there studying the laws of kingship. You can be there studying the laws of nida. If your intention is to understand and to get all the points that make this halacha, this mitzvah, this chukim, or this mishpatim meaningful for our Jewish life, this will be considered as you kept it. That's it. So based on that, Ben Ishai said, so don't be surprised if it said that you have to keep it today. Today is just a code to let you know that by thinking or by studying, all the 613 mitzvot are open to you. Till there, are we okay? Do you understand? Please let me know. Is it okay? Are you understanding? תודה רבה, רבנית קטרין. Okay. Let's go deeper. Don't forget, we have a central question is to understand how the lake of love for the law is killing the tradition of the Bantu Israelite. We continue. The Ben Ishai said now, he said, look, נמצא, לתרי"ג מצוות הם 3 מינים ונקראים מצווה וירוקים ומשפטים. He said, now you know that we have 3 groups, subgroups in the family of תרי"ג, 613 mitzvot. So not all the mitzvot have the same statute or the same value. In the 613 mitzvot, we have mitzvot, chukim, mishpatim. We have commandment, statute, and the last one, we call it ordinances. It's like this. כאשר פרט אותם הכתוב כאן. וכנגד 3 מיני מצוות אלו נתן השם יתברך לאדם 3 מיני הנאה. He said that האחד הנאת אדם. So he said, look, based on the 3 categories of laws that we have seen, מצווה, מצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, Hashem, gave to the man, to the human beings also, 3 categories of enjoyment, a way to, 3 ways to enjoy. The first one is the ta'am. What is the ta'am? The taste. If you taste something, what is the taste? With your tongue. Atam shu bape. So he said, what is the taste? The taste is in the mouth. First level. So just 1 second, I just plug my computer because it's gonna switch off soon. 1 second. Sorry, can you hear me? It's okay?
Yes, I can hear you from here.
תודה רבה, תודה רבה. So he said like this. He said, in front of that 3 categories of type of laws, meaning chukim, mishpatim, chukim, mitzvot, and mitzvah, we have also 3 different type of way to enjoy things when you are a human. The first one is with the taste, which happen in the mouth. You taste something, for example, that tastes coffee. Okay, this is a way to enjoy the coffee because you taste it. The second one, asheni, anaat areach. The second one is the smell. Not the smell, not the bad smell, the good smell. Reyach tov. So he said, when you smell something with a good smell, it brings a kind of a peace to your soul. It calms you down. And he said that enjoyment localization is ba chotem. What is the chotem? This is that place in the middle ear, not that side of nose, this ear. This is the chotem. והשלישי, הנעת המראה הטוב. So yeah, the second one is the view, the vision, but the view of good things, not of bad things. So what are the three ways to enjoy when you are a man or woman? It's the mouth, tasting, the chotem, smelling, or the eyes by seeing. הטוב שהוא בעיניים, which are in the eyes, ושלושתם מצויים בגשמיות בעולם הזה. So I say that three levels of that three senses, let's say, they are connected to this word. אך עיקר ההנאה שיחיה בה האדם בעולם הזה הוא הנאת האכילה ושתייה, שהוא בפה, שעומד תחתון, וכשייפטר האדם מעולם הזה התחתון, תתבטל ממנו הנאה הזו שבפה, ויחיה בגן עדן. So I say like this. He said, look, you have to understand that when you live in this world, in Olam Hazeh, the pleasure, the enjoyment that you will use the most is the one connected to drinking and eating. And this one happened in the mouth. And he said, look, when you will be gone, when you will be passed away, there is no food, no drink in the Gan Eden. So you cannot use the tongue, the taste of the mouth in the Gan Eden. So it's basically the mouth taste is useful and you will only be used here in this world. We continue a bit. He said, ויחיה בגן עדן בהנאת הריח. כי שם בגן עדן התחתון תתלבש הנפש בגוף ממש, אך הוא חומר זך, ואינו צריך לאכילה ושתייה, אלא יחיה ויתקיים על הנאת הריח הטוב שמריח בגן עדן התחתון כנודע. So I say, look, you maybe don't know these details. Say, you have to know that when you passed away, you will go to the Gan Eden, but you have two levels in the Gan Eden, the upper one and the lower one. So now what's happened? It said, if you basically passed away, you will first of all start to live your life after death in the lower Gan Eden. At that place, there is no enjoyment with the mouth. There is no eat, there is no drink. You will start to use the second level of enjoyment that was given to you in this world, meaning smelling. The smell that you will see in the lower Gan Eden will be the food for your body. For your body, yes. The Ben Ish Chai said, when you will be in the Gan Eden of Atachton, the lower Gan Eden, you will have a real body. The difference between this body and the body of the Gan Eden, the lower Gan Eden, is that the body of the lower Gan Eden is a very, very, very refined body. Meaning, kind of body that we maybe see when they were in the desert. It's written that they didn't need to go to toilet. They were eating man, and man didn't need to be digested. So basically, it's the key. The Ben Ish Chai said, after you died, You go to the lower Gan Eden, and at that place you will start to use the second level of your enjoyment would be the smell. Till there, are we okay? Okay. Continue. וכתבתי בספרי הנקרא רב פעלים, דזהו הטעם דנוהגים פה עירנו בגדד, שבתוך 12 חודש מביאים יורשי הנפטר מורדים, או שושנים, או מיני עשבים, שיש להם ריח טוב, ואוחזים אותם ועומדים בפתח בית הכנסת כדי שיברכו הנכנסים והיוצאים, גם דרכם להחזיר אותם על כל הקהל שיברכו עליהם, ומשתדלים לזכות את הרבים תמיד, בבוקר ובערב, בברכה זו של הריח בתוך 12 חודש, מפני דהנפטר נפשו בגן עדן התחתון, דשם נהנה וניזון מן הריח הטוב, לכן תועיל לו ברכת הריח. במנוחת נפשו יותר משאר ברכות. גם יש טעם ברכת הריח למנוחת נפש הנפטר, מפני כי גם בהיותו בחיים, חיותו בעולם הזה, יש הנאה לנשמה מן הריח, כמו שאמרו רבותינו זיכרון לברכה על פסוק כל נשמה תהלל יה. איזהו דבר שהנשמה נהנית ממנו ואין הגוף נהנה ממנו, הביא אומר זה הריח. ואבא דליה דהנשמה נהנית מן הריח בעולם הזה, מפני שזהו מזון שלה אחר כך בגן עדן, ושם בספר הנזכר העליתי בתשובה לאותם הנוהגים להעמיד בבית האבל אדם עומד בסמוך לפתח ובידו כלי מורדים, כדי שיברכו הבאים שם ביציאתם, אין בזה משום חשש, משום דכתיב בשולחן ערוך יורדיה סימן שח סעיף זין, דאתם יראים להביא לפני היושבים אצל האבל בסמים או מוגמר שהוא תענוג של שמחה, דלא שייך זה באבל, מה שאין כן זה שתופס כלי של מורדים בידו הרחוק אצל בית האבל, שכל אחד מבחר מהריח לעצמה, זו ניכר לעושין בשביל הברכות למנוחת נפש הנפטר, ואין כן חשש הנזכר. So let me explain what's happened here. Ben Ishai said, we have one tradition in Baghdad. When someone passed away, in the first year, we try, the family of the one who passed away, they buy a lot of herbs or trees that smells good, and they stand at the entrance door of the synagogue or the Beit Knesset. And the purpose is to let every single one who is entering or going out, making a blessing on that herbs or that trees that smells good. You say, why? He said, because the one who just passed away, the first year after he passed away, we know that he is in the lower level of the Garden of Eden. He said, when he's in that place, we know that his principal food is smelling. So by smelling here in this word, you basically also connect with his soul. When the one who are here, who are gathered to remember his life and his action, they are using that mitzvah of Bore, Mine, Isbe, or Atse Besamim, they also give to the soul of the one who passed away a kind of salvation. It's a way to feed him because he is in a world where food is done by smelling. So also you, as a close family or as a close friend, by saying blessings about smell, you also give type of peace to your soul, of course, but you also give strength, additional strength to the soul of the one who passed away. So it's very meaningful in the first year after the death of the one who passed away to really be active with the Besamim, because this is the principal food when your soul is in the lower Gan Eden. After that, he said, they have another minag, which is when basically it's the first year, some people, when they go to the cemetery, there's one man who stands at the entrance door of the cemetery holding a pot with perfume made from roses. He said they are doing that for the same purpose, to feed the soul of the one who stays here or of the one who passed away with the smell. These two topics, what are the three categories of laws and what are the three categories of enjoyment, and we focusing on Reach, we are just introducing the answers to our question, meaning the disaffection of laws. How come that lack of love is so problematic? But we are introducing the topic slowly. So till there, is it okay? Is it okay, see there?
Shalom, shalom, Rabbeinu.
Shalom. Is it okay?
The network is so freezing that I'm not even getting it. I don't know if I should go to Facebook. It's so freezing here.
So maybe go to Facebook, like it will be easier for you to follow.
Toda Rabba, Rabbeinu.
Welcome. So I continue. So here is now how the Ben Ishchai will connect the two topics. And he said like this, ואחר עלייה של גן עדן התחתון, יש עלייה גדולה ממנה, שהיא בגן עדן העליון, ושם הנשמה ניזונת בראייה, שמסתכלת בזיו השכינה, ועל זה אמרו אבותינו זכרונם לברכה בברכות העולם הבא, אין בה לא אכילה ולא שתייה וכולי, אלא צדיקים יושבים ועטרותיהן בראשיהם ונהנים מזיו השכינה, והוא הנאה בעיניים שלהם ולכן עשה השם יתברך 3 איברים אלו, פה, חותם, עין. זה מעל זה, כפי סדר מדרגות ההנאות שיש לאדם בזה, אחר זה כאמור. Nice like this. See, look, what's happened now? Once you have finished, after you passed away, once you have finished with the lower level of the Gan Eden, after that, you go to the upper level, the top one. The upper level of the Gan Eden, we call it in Hebrew, Gan Eden Ha'elyon. That Gan Eden, he said, at that place, for sure, there's no place for the taste. There's no place for the smell. See, this is the place for the view, for the vision. This is the place where, like say, the Talmud Brachot, the tzaddikim are sitting, the crown on the head, their crown on the head, and they are just fed by the halo of the Shekhinah, of the presence of God, of the presence of Hashem. And he says, so this is the last level, the top level. So what Rabbi Ben Ishai said, look, that's why in this word, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made that three sense, one on the top of the other, to show to us their evolution. In this word, we start with the mouth. In the Gan Eden Atarton, the lower one, we continue with the smell, chotem. And in the upper Gan Eden, the higher one, we are with the view, the eyes. That's why these three organs have been created. Now look what he's saying. He said, ובזה פרשתי בסייעתא דשמיא רמז הכתוב בן פורת יוסף בן פורת עלי עין. He said, now you can understand the verse that Yaakov said, not Yaakov, that Moshe said about the tribe of Yosef. He said, it's in Bereshit 49, no, it's Yaakov who said it, Bereshit 49, 22. So what he said that, I will translate for you. Bereshit 49, 22. He said, Ben Porat Yosef. What does it mean, Ben Porat Yosef? He said, Yosef is a fruitful wine. Ben Porat Alay Ain. A fruitful wine by a fountain. The translation is really bad. The translation is not good. Not good. It's like this. When you say Ben Porat Yosef, it means that Yosef is a son of abundance, very fertile, son of abundance, Ben Porat Yosef. And I said, after he said, Ben Porat Alai Ain. You see here, Ben Porat Alai Ain. And he said, that abundance, I translate word by word before we go to the Ben Ishai explanation. And he said, that abundance brought him to go higher than the eyes. Alai Ain. It's not connected at all to a vineyard, to a fountain. It's not like this at all. So let's see what the Ben Ishai explained. He said, Ben Porat Alain, say, Ki Tzadik Nikra Yosef. He said, you have to know that the name, the spiritual code name of a tzaddik is Yosef. Al derer she'amru rabotenu zikronam livracha, תלמידי חכמים כל זמן שמזקנין דעתן מתוספת עליהם. ואחר עולם הזה הוא בן פורת בגן שיש לו חן מחודש בהנעתו להיות ניזון מן הריח. ואחר כן זה עוד יש לו חן נוספת, וזהו בן פורת עלי עין, שיהיה ניזון ונהנה בראיית העין, וזהו תכלית הנעתו. So you see, the Ben Ishai said straight. He said, what is the secret code of this pasuk? Ben Porat Yosef, Ben Porat Alay Ain. What is the secret of this pasuk? He said, look, this pasuk is actually talking about chen. He said, you know what is chen? Chen means grace. Here it is. We said it. We said it. The Christian missionaries came in the Bantu Israelite land. They told them, look, grace is connected to the fact that someone who is not from your family, who is not from your country, who is not a siblings of yours, he died for you. He died for me, he died for you. Did he knew us? We don't know, but he died for you. Did he knew about Africa, about Congolese, about Namibian, about Nigerian, about Sudanese, about South African? We don't know, but everything was inside of him. He died for you. Okay. So by dying for you, he practiced for you, we create for you what they called grace. So for the first time today, you see what is the real definition of grace according to the Torah. The definition of grace is built on the roots of the blessing that Yaakov gave to Joseph. What is that blessing based on? It's based on the fact that you in your life, you will be a tzaddik, a righteous man. When you are a righteous man, you can have access to that code that Yaakov creates, meaning Ben Porat Yosef, Ben Porat Alai Ain. And now the Ben Ishai gives you the code. He said, look, grace is based on the going up of your soul from one level, from one taste to the other taste, from one sense to the other sense. He said simple. When you will be living your life like a righteous man, this place will create abundance for you. This is what we call Ben Porat, your son of abundance. That abundance will create, you being righteous, you will create that abundance. That abundance will bring you to be called Ben Porat Yosef. So the Ben Ishai said, the Ben Porat Yosef, it's when your soul achieve the lower level of the Gan Eden, which means you are working, dealing, eating, everything only with the smell. So at that level, this is when you are called the Ben Porat Yosef. Here you are tzaddik. You passed away, you become Ben Porat Yosef. Ben Ishai said, this is the first level of grace. you see that we know what is grace. People don't have to tell us, oh, he died for a gift of grace. No, grace, it's nothing to do with dying on the cross. Chas v'shalom. Grace is connected to the fact that I spend my life like a righteous man. I passed away. I will be living in a second level of life with my soul in a body totally renewed and pure, more than this one. And I will be feeding my body and my soul only with milk. They said this is the first level of grace. And this was coded by Yaakov by saying, Ben Porat Yosef. After that, when you will go to the next stage, which is the upper Gan Eden, you achieve the second grace. The second grace, it's when your soul is settled in the upper Gan Eden, where you will feed your soul only by observing, looking, watching, using your eyes. And he said, this is the second part of the pasuk, Ben Porat Alai Ain. Tzaddik, Ben Porat Yosef, Ben Porat Alai Ain. This is the secret of grace. Grace has nothing to do with what you fought till now. Grace has nothing to do with what the missionaries brought from Europe to our lands. Grace is connected to the migration of your soul after death. Grace is built from your action on this earth, but also from your action after death. It's not me saying, Ben Israel is writing it to you. So based on that, if you connect to the other aspect, very simple. At that level, let me see if I'm not going too fast. Okay, let's see. So like this. I will connect now. It's basically when you are understanding the secret of the three categories of the laws, Mishpatim, Mitzvot, and Chukim. I give the order according to the level and the intensity of the categories. The lower one is Mishpatim. We said before that Mishpatim, they are laws that human being can arrive to that conclusion. To say, yes, we need to say that it's forbidden to kill. It's obvious. We understand that that situation can create bad things. So we don't need God to tell us, don't kill. You can understand by creating a society. So that's why the Ben Ish Chai said, the Mishpatim, which are the ordinances, they are meaningful for our intellect, and we can understand why it's important to make them general. So the Mishpatim, they are connected to the mouth. Just in the chat, let me know if it's okay for you. Do you follow? follow? I will help you to understand better, but I just want to be sure that you are following. Do you follow? תודה רבה, Abide Oshimedia. So let's go back. Now we connect. So basically, I will take 5 minutes. I will make it clear for you. We're going to build the diagram together, because when the diagram is built, things are easier. So we basically want to understand the secret of grace. Secret of grace. So when I want to understand that secret, we need what is the real grace that our ancestors used to know, that our tribes used to know before the missionaries arrived and they sell it through one man dying on a cross. What is the grace? This is the key. If we know the real definition, it'll be easy and okay to rebuild the greatness of our history and of our tribes. So what is the grace? Sorry, to understand the grace, we have to know that the key starts with the 613 mitzvot. With the 613 mitzvot, this is how it starts. Maybe let me do it bigger for you. Is it enough big? Let's maybe like this, be better. Okay. 613 mitzvot. That 613 mitzvot, they are divided in 3 categories. Let's do like this. I will start from the, let's say we'll start from the lower one to the top one. The lower one, we call them mishpatim. The mishpatim, they are what we called ordinances. Try if it can call ordinances. And we saw that they are connected to the mouth. Connected to the mouth, and they are connected to what we call the taste. The second category is what we call the mitzvot. The mitzvot, in good English, is commandment. That commandment are connected to the chotem. We called it the nose, but I don't have any nose. Let me see. Okay, you will understand. The nose. I'll make it like this. Okay, and let's put like this. We take our time. I want you to get it perfectly. So let's say we turn it. Okay, sorry, it's just a draw. Don't have any choice. So here, what do we have? Smell. We will need space. Let me take some places. Okay. And the last category, which is called chukim. They are what we say in good English, statute. And they are connected to the eyes. Yes. And this is what we call the view. Here is the thing. I think we have it. Oh, yes. So now what's happened? The secret of grace is like this. We need to have one pasuk. The one pasuk we need is Ben Porat Yosef. The pasuk says like this in Hebrew. Let me take it in Hebrew. Okay. Take my time like this. It's understandable for you also. So here's the pasuk. I don't like this, but I just took that part of the pasuk, which is in Bereshit. I will write all the references. So the pasuk, secret of grace, is based on this pasuk. The pasuk is divided in two levels. Level 1, level 2. So what's happened? He said, look, when you live your life of righteous men, meaning here, you are a tzaddik, righteous man, all your life, you are a tzaddik. After that, what will happen to you? You will go up after death, like this. You go up. You go up. And when you go up after your death, you basically leave the first level of grace. What is that first level of grace? This is what we call Ben Porat Yosef. Here is. Here is the first level of grace. Ben Porat Yosef. And at that level, you are only fed by the re'ah, the smell. And the place of all this situation is in the place called, Gan Eden Atarton, the lower Gan Eden. Here is it's here in the lower Gan Eden. After you go to the next stage, you upgrade. You go here. Next stage. And at that place, you go to the place called Upper Gan Eden. And this will be what we call the second level of grace. And that second level of grace, it's the second part of the Pasuk. Ben Porat Alai Ain. Ain is the eye, the abundance, the son of abundance, who went higher than the high. Here is Ben Porat Alai Ain. So is the diagram we built now, is it clear and meaningful for you? Shalom Shalom Yochanan, Shalom Shalom. This is what we can call, the secret of grace. The secret of grace. Grace is Toda Rabbi Eliyahu Shemidia. The secret, the grace, it's not a man dying. The grace is activated by you dying as a righteous man. So they knew exactly that's what they have to do. Your ancestors, they have no fear of life after death. Because your ancestor, my ancestor, the Bantu Israelite, we knew that the ancestors, they had the connection for us with the invisible world. And that after the death, we continue to ascend. We had all that. So what they did, they brought the concept, the Greek concept, the Roman concept, the philosophical concept of grace, and they put it in front of your eyes like a weapon against the laws. They say, you don't need any laws. The laws are too heavy to be kept. Grace, it's you putting the laws aside. That was the poison. Because we have just seen that grace is bid from the laws. You see? Ben Ishai shows to you that the concept of grace in Hebrew, it's chen. Chen. He said the concept of chen is built from the laws. Even if you can say it in a logical way to say to people, yes, there's no grace without laws, and there's no grace without condemnation and so on. But at least for the one who are rabbis, the one who want to go deeper, I just prove to you now the concept of grace that your ancestors, Bantu Israelite, had. It was rooted and built from the corner of the laws. So they came and say, stop keeping the laws. The laws are fake. It's too hard. Human being cannot be. So they made you believe that not keeping the laws, this is the sign and the meaningful dimension of grace. Lies. They lied to you. They lied to me. They lied to our sisters. You see? You see what is grace? You know now that grace is two levels. First of all, if you are not a tzaddik, you are not a laws keeper, you cannot achieve the level of first stage of grace, which is Ben Porat Yosef. You cannot achieve for sure the second level of grace, which is Ben Porat Halayain. And I can tell you what they did it particularly in Africa, because most of the sons of Yosef, they arrived in Africa, Central Africa, Western Africa. If you consider the house of Yehuda and the house of Yosef, if the actual Jews are the house of Yehuda, we all know that the lost tribes, they are under the house of Yosef. So what was the teaching given to the house of Yosef? No, stop the laws. It's a loss of time. Do what you want. Don't need laws. Eat what you want. We're going to arrive. We're almost finished. Let's go back to the Ben Ishai. Let's go back to the Ben Ishai. So look what the Ben Ishai said. He said like this. I want to be a bit faster. Ben Ishai said, look. He said, ולכן צריך האדם להיזהר בעולם הזה, בפה המגיע, בפגם, מחילה, בפגם המגיע על העיניים יותר מכל האיברים. יען, כי כל איבר שחוטא בגוף, בו, הנה הוא פוגם כנגדו באיבר של נשמתו. ומאחר שתכלית המעלה של הנעת נשמת האדם הוא בעיניים, לכך צריך לקדש ולתאר העיניים שלו ביותו בעולם הזה יותר מכל האיברים. So he said very simple. Now you know the three key organs connected to the grace. The mouth, the chotem, the nose, and the eyes. He said, but among three of them, the top one is connected to the hukim, which is connected to the eyes. So he said, based on the fact that you will enjoy the different type of grace, lower Gan Eden, higher Gan Eden, with the organs of your soul. So be careful to protect, not to damage the organs of your soul while being on this earth. Meaning, he said, among the three, the top one is the eyes. Yes, rest. Yes, right. Okay, no problem. He said, protect your eyes more than the other. So what the invader they did with the slave trade, with the colonization and the neo-colonization. They know that if you want to destroy these Bantu Israelites, while you have killing their kids, their wife, you have taken their lands and so on, and although their wealth, you have to bring them to destroy the most important organ of their soul, which is the eyes. How do you do it? You have to be clever, because we, according to what the explorer they said, we were noble in our behavior. So you cannot bring us to change our behavior to become like animals, Chas v'shalom. So you cannot tell me not to respect, not to be tsanua, meaning decent in my way to dress and all these things. So they will bring you one thing very important, and but is damaging our people, is violence. Violence and bad smell. I explain. We know that the top one is the eyes. The Ben Ish Chai said, be careful with the eyes of your soul while you are alive. But you can add, be careful with the nose, the chotem of your soul while you are alive. If you go to Africa, what do you see? Two main topics. The first one, we have no build system of destroying the garbage. The garbage are in the streets. They are dropped. In Congo, they are burned outside by every individuals. So what's happened with the garbage and the dirtiness of our cities? You have the bad smell. What's happened with the fact that we are missing waters? The bodies build the bad smell. While they keep us in that condition of life, what's happened, because they know all the things we are studying, they are damaging our nose, the smell of our nose, and we will have problem to access to the first level of grace based on the lower stage of the Gan Eden. But after we go deeper, what do you see everywhere in Africa? Something that makes me crazy. Violence. You go to Congo, violence. Nigeria, violence. South Africa, violence. Kenya, violence. Zambia, violence. Sudan, violence. Central Africa, violence. Namibia, violence. Angola, violence. Uganda, you see violence everywhere. And nowadays, with all the network, people are just dropping in front of your face dead bodies, people bleeding, people with no members, head cutted, all the things, all the dirtiness of what Amalek is doing in Africa, they are sharing in WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups. The Rashash Hakadosh, Rabbi Shalom Sharabi, the master, the one who gave his nobility to the Bethel Yeshiva where I studied. He writes like this in his book. Every single one who is standing in the role of a tzaddik have to be careful about bad smell and never to look at people who are wounded or people who are dying or people who are hanged or people who are what you want. You see, because that two situation remove your soul from your body. Basically, it kills you from inside. But today, people, they have been manipulated based on the Western mindset. They say, no, truth have to be seen. We have to show to you the violence of what's happened. Like this, you will be awake. No, we are trapped in the biggest trap. We think that this will awake us. No, it will not awake us. It will kill our soul. and will not access to the real grace, what will await us is a going back to the laws, or going back to love and keep the laws. There is no grace without mitzvot. That's it. Ben Ishchai. So see what he's saying. He said, so be careful with your eyes. And he said, I read a bit fast, ובזה מובן עניין המעשה דרבי מתיה בן חרש, שהביא בעל סדר הדורות, בשם מדרש אבקיר, וזהו לשונו. רבי מתיה בן חרש, הוא היה יושב בבית מדרש ועוסק בתורה, וזיו פניו דומות לחמה, וכלסתר פניו למלכי השרת, מפני שימיו לא נעשה עיניו באישה פעם אחת. עבר שטן ונתקנה בו ואמר, אפשר האדם כזה לא חטא? אמר לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא, ריבונו של עולם, רבי מתיה בן חרש, מה הוא לפניך? אמר לו, צדיק גמור. הוא אמר לו, תן לי רשות ועשיתנו. אמר לו, אין אתה יכול לו. ואחר כך, ואף על פי כן, לך אלך ונדמה לו כאישה יפה. ולא היה כדמותה לעולם, וימות נעמה אחות לוטן קין. ושתעו בה המלאכים הנפיליים, שטעו בה המלאכים הנפיליים, ועמד לפניו, וכיוון שראו הפך פניו, ראה והפך פניו לאחוריו, ועמד לצד שמאל, והפך פניו לימין, והיה מתאפר לכל צד. ואמר רבי מתיה, מתיירא אני, שמעה יתגבר עליי יצחי ויחציאני. קרא לתלמיד שהיה במדרש לפניו, ואמר לו, לך והביא לי אש. מסמר והביא לו, הוא ביער המסמר באש, וניתנה לעיניו. ונסתמה כשראה השטן ככה, נזדעזע ונפל לאחוריו, שבאותה שעה קרא הקדוש ברוך הוא למלאך רפאל ואמר לו, לך ורפא את מתיה בן חרש. בא ועמד לפניו, אמר לו, מי אתה? אמר לו, רפאל, ששלחוני הקדוש ברוך הוא לרפואות עיניך. אמר לו, אני כן מה שהיה היה. אז חזר לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא ואמר לו, קר וקר אמר לי. אמר לו הקדוש ברוך הוא, לך ואמר לו, אני ערב, שלא ישלוט בו יצר הרע מיד, ירפא אותו עד כאן. וכתב הרב ז"ל בשם מדברי המקובלים ז"ל, וזהו לשונו. רבי מתיה בן חרש היה פלטי בן לאיש, שלקח את מיכל בת שאול, ונייץ חרב בעינו ובעינה. ועם כל זה לא היה לו לעכבה, היה לו לאמר לשאול המלך עליו השלום, ואין אני רוצה לקח אותה. כל מקום שיש חילול השם, אין חולקין כבוד לרב, ועל זה נאמר, נשיא עמי תגרשון מבית תענוגיה. ואף על פי שלא נגע בה מכל מקום, בעל כוחו נהנה מראיית אין. Sorry. נהנה מראיית עין. יד עין, ושזהו עיניו במה שאין שלו, כי אצלו היתאה יושבת ושוכבת, לכן רצה התאה לתקן דבר זה, ונגלגל עניין זה לידו, כדי שיצער עצמו ויעור עיניו. ובעבור זה נמסר בתחילה ביד השטן להסיתו, והוא נתעזר נגד יצחו, ולא רצה להביט בפניה, ושניהם בלתי מתיה היו ניצוץ יוסף הצדיק, עליו השלום, עד כאן לשונו. Now I explain. It's like this. Something very important. He said, look, the Yoshimide said, our tribes were more sane than when observance of the laws was held in paramount. Yes, look what you're going to say to Rabbi Yoshimide. He said like this, Ben Ishai. He said, look, there's the story of one rabbi called Mattia ben Charash. He said this rabbi was known to be very holy because, he never put eyes on women. Never. So one day, the Satan came to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He said, Master of the word, let me test this rabbi called Mattia ben Charash. Hashem told him, look, you will not succeed. I know him, you will not succeed. He said, okay, no problem, let me try. Let me try then. He said, okay, go. He changed himself to a wonderful woman. And he said, the beauty of that woman was exactly as the beauty of the woman we call Naama Achot Lotan, who was the woman that the angels, the Nephilim, fall in love. He was in the Beit HaMidrash, and the woman entered. When he saw her entered, he turned his face on the left. She came on the left. He turned on the right. She came on the right. He tried to turn on her. She came in front. He called one of his students. He said, bring me how can you say, something like a coal with fire, when you do barbecue, you put coal with fire. So bring me one. He bring one coal, he put fire on it, and he put on his eyes, and he become blind. He said, I sense that I may sin with that woman by looking at her. I rather like to become blind than to sin. So when he did that, the Satan fall in reverse. He said, what is that? Straight, HaKadosh Baruch Hu called Raphael, the angel who heals. He said, go to Mattia ben Charash and give to him healings. Raphael came. When he arrived, Rabbi Mattia ben Charash, he said, who are you? He said, I'm Raphael. I've been sent to heal you. He said, no. Based on the experience I just went through, what is done is done. I want to stay like this. Raphael went back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He said, here's what you have said. He said, tell him like this. From now, I become a guarantor for him that he will never sin. The story will be added by Ari HaKadosh to say that why Mattia ben Charash went through that story. He said, because he was the reincarnation of Palti ben Laish, who married the Shaul's daughter, had problem with keeping eyes. And both of them, Palti ben Laish and Rabbi ben Harash, they were reincarnation of Yosef Atzadik himself, who had a problem with the wife of Potiphar. To tell you what, the real tzaddikim are always attacked in the eyes, because this is the most noble member based on the second level of grace, higher Gan Eden. Based on that, see what they have done in Africa. See what they have done in Africa. They bring you to be trapped in the bad use of your eyes. I'll give you one information. I will not go in too much. The authentic and original color of the eyes, it's black or brown if you want. Every other colors are default of genetic things. Because that color is made by the melanin. So the eyes that you possess are full of melanin. That's why they are black or brown. That quality of eyes attract a lot. A lot. So when you put nonsense image in front of that type of eyes, the damage is much more bigger than if someone is blue-eyed, with blue eyes or green eyes. This is another story. So what they did, they create a mindset of people not keeping laws. So when you don't keep laws, your mentality becomes very corrupted. You start to look at your friend's wife. You start to look at women's, and you have no limit. You are tested by that point because you are descent of Yosef Atzadik. So it's the point where you're going to be tested. So yes, what do you do with that eyes? How do you keep them? By removing the system of laws and faking a new definition of grace, they basically made weaker the strength of our eyes. Look what the Ben Ish Chai said. We are almost finished. He said, it's a longer paragraph, I will read everything. He said, והנה, בזה הדבר שכתב הרב ז"ל בשם המקובלים ז"ל, יש לתרץ בסוד דקדוק גדול שיש במאמר הנזכר, דאמר השטן, אפשר אדם כזה לא חוטא ונראה מדבריו אדם כזה ראוי שיחטא, ולחי כמטמא באמת הדבר להפך האדם כזה שהוא הצדיק אמור ראוי שלא יחטא, אך יובן אצל ישמעאל בעניין על פי מה שכתוב רבנו ז"ל הרי קדוש במאמר שבת עבור במאי זעיר תפה, שהיו שואלים חכמי התלמוד זה לזה, דהי הכוונה הוא כל צדיק שיבוא בגלגול כדי לתקן דבר, אחד יהיה נזהר באותו הדבר בתכלית ומוסך עצמו עליו, כמו עניין הרע בדבר בספרי דזוהר, שהשליך עצמו מן הגג כדי לענות קדיש ועינו, ובשביל שבא בגלגול בעבור אותו עניין, ולכן היו החכמים שואלים זה מזה, עבור במאי זעיר תפה, כדי שבזה יכירו בשביל איזה דבר בא בגלגול, וכנזכר כל זה בשאר הגלגולים יעוין שם. והנה השטן ראה דרבי מתיה בן חרש עליו השלום היה נזהר בעניין ההסתלקות בתכלית כי מקטנותו היה נשמר שלו לראות פני אישה, אפילו בעברה בעלמה, וראה שהיה לו בזה הדבר החסידות נפלא, שלא נמצאת בשאר הצדיקים, לכך אמר אדם כזה, שהוא מתחסד בראיית אנשים, חסידות נפלא, שנזהר מאוד יותר מחבריו, אפשר שהיה זו אצלו על מגן, שלא חטאה בדבר זה, של ההסתלקות בגלגול הקודמים, כי השטן יודע דשמירת והזהרת הדבר, בדבר אחד יותר מן הראוי, היא מוכר שבגלגול הקודם חטא בדבר זה, וכמו שכתב בשם רבינו אריז"ל לעיל, ולכן אחר שהכריח מצד שיקול הדעת, בוודאי הוא צריכה להתגלגל, לסבול צער הגדול הזה של עיוורון עיניים, שהבער אותם בידם בגחלת של ברזל, שהוא צערי דאי אפשר לאדם לסבול, וכל זה בעבור הזנות העיניים שלו, וזינו מין ראיתה אישה, שאינה שלו, בעל כוחו שלו ברצונו, והדבר יפלא על מה הייתה כל החרדה הזאת, והוא צריכה להתגלגל כדי לסבול צער הגדול הזה. כפי שהאמור מובן ששפיר מפני שתכלית הנעת הצדיקים והזנתם הוא בעיניים שלהם בגן עדן העליון. לכך צדיק צריך לדקדק בדבר הנוגע לעינם, אפילו בעבור דבר קל כחוט השיח, לסבול אליו צער קשה ומר מאוד, כדי לנקוטם ולזכרם היטב לגמרי. Okay. What he said here, we are almost finished, 3 lines done. He said, look, he said, why the laws are important, basically, because through the desire of keeping the laws, you will have the history of your family, of your ancestors. I explain. He said, when you made a terrible mistake in a previous life, you will come in a new life with a desire and with a strength much more bigger than what you had then that brought you to sin. Let's say if you used to, Chas v'shalom, to make robbery. So in this life, new life, you will come with a real and deep desire of protecting yourself from robbery. So how do you protect yourself from robbery? It's by applying all the halachot, all the mitzvot, all the chukim, all the mitzvatim connected to robbery, all the ordinances, all the commandment, and all the, how you say it in English, and all the statute, with a high level of strict, you're very strict, very, very strict on yourself. Why you do that? Because you soon know the truth from the past. If you want, your ancestors, they passed to you in your DNA the testimony of your past life. So if you want to connect to your ancestors, if you want to help them to finish what they didn't finish, to fix what they have done, because you are the extension, the reincarnation of what they used to be, you have to do the laws, to keep the laws. This is what I say oftenly when people ask to me what the difference between orthodoxy in Judaism and ultra orthodoxy. I say never go to ultra orthodoxy by being in a group. Always be orthodox and build for yourself the ultra orthodoxy. Why? Because you will know exactly where you have to be more strict than the other on a simple topic. When you go to a system calling himself ultra orthodoxy, all your guys, you are basically doing the tikkun of one man. Because of his own weakness or strength, will build a system of society. The ultra orthodoxy is a personal way. That's why the Gemara says it's good that every single man or woman possess a level of akpada, makpid, be very strict on certain halachot. Not all of them, some of them. Why? Because you are expressing the, the testimony that your soul brought from the previous life. So I said, this is the key. The love of the laws, the fact of keeping that 613 mitzvot is the best way to know what is the heritage of your ancestors. Because your ancestors, they live through you with your soul. This is what the Ben Israelite took all this chapter to explain why we have to go on the topic of reincarnation to understand what Rabbi Matzia ben Harash faced. He said, because reincarnation is the migration of your soul, this is connected to your lineage. This is connected to your ancestors. This is connected to your tradition. That's why I said in the title, when you destroy the connection to the laws in the Bantu Israelite history, to destroy their connection to their tradition. That's it. You have the answer now. Is it okay? You get it? Before I conclude. Is it okay? You get it? Before I conclude, Rabbanim Tzadikim? תודה רבה, Rabbi Yochanan. תודה רבה רבה. We finished. Ben Ishchai says, to conclude, והנה, here is, כבר אמרנו, דרך אגב, לעיקר חיות האדם בעולם הזה תלויה בהנאה שבפה, שהוא אכילה ושתייה. We already told you that the essential way of life of a man in this world is the enjoyment made by the mouth, meaning drinking and eating. ועם כל זה, נתן הקדוש ברוך הוא לאדם בעולם הזה הנאה בריח החותם, והנאה בראייה העיניים. So he said, even though we know that reality, Hashem Hashem gave to the man in this world the possibility to enjoy also with the smell, the nose, and with the eyes. Basically, Ben Ishchai is saying he wasn't obliged. He could create man only with a mouth, without eyes and nose. It's an example, but to let you know that these two organs and the sense inside, they are not made for this world. He said, but he gave them to you to have a taste of them also. Why? ולך בכל שלושה מיני הנאות אלו תיקנו חכמינו זיכרונם לברכה ברכות. So that's why, based on this three level of enjoyment in the mouth, the nose, the eyes, our sage have made blessings, ברכות. מפני כי היצר הרע מתגרה יותר בעבר שיש בו הנאה לאדם. Why like this? Because the יצר הרע, the Satan, knows about the three organs. So this is the place where it's going to attack you the most. Ear and ear. Ear, 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 ear. These are the places. So when you will say the blessings before eating, before smelling, before enjoying with your eyes, אשר יתקנו בהנאות שלושה איברים אלו, אז נשמרים איברים אלו מנזק היצר הרע המתגרה בהם. So I say it's by saying blessings before using your mouth, before using your nose, your chotem, before using your eyes, that you will be protected from the aggression of the Satan, of the Yetzer Hara. The blessings said before the using of these three organs and senses, they are like a shield for you. ולכן, כמו שניתקנו ברכות על אכילה ושתייה, c'est the same thing. Like we have blessing on drinking and eating, כך ניתקנו ברכות על הריח שבחותם, וכן ניתקנו גם כן ברכות על הריח שבעיניים. That's why we have blessings on the use of this organ and this sense, and that organ and this sense. וכאשר נבאר אכלותינו בשבת הבאה בעזרת השם. So he said, the halachot coming explain to you what are the blessings based on the three organs. So what is the secret now? Based on the comparison made at the beginning, by keeping the laws, the 630 laws, we basically activate the spiritual strength of the three organs. The mouth to taste, the chotem to smell, and the eyes to see. When you remove the love connection between a people and the mitzvot, you basically kill the three organs, mouth or chotem and eyes, mouth, nose, and eyes. That's why I said in my editora that strategy was as violent as the slave trade itself, as violent as the colonization itself, as violent as the fighting for civil rights themselves, as violent as the neo-colonization. We need to reconnect our people, Bantu Israelite, with the laws. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen. Amen. Toda Rabba to all of you on Facebook, YouTube. Toda Rabba Rabbi Vaetchanan. Toda Rabba Rabbi Eliyahu Shimitia. Toda Rabba Rabbi Catherine. Toda Rabba Rabbi Brandon Ben Yosef. Toda Rabba Rabbi Johnny Heinzman. Toda Rabba Lekulchem. Be'ezrat Hashem. Toda Rabba. See you on tomorrow for the French version of this limud. Be'ezrat Hashem, we will try to make it happen till tomorrow. And Shabbat Shalom for the English speakers. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. And study your halachot. Toda Rabba Rabba Likulchem. And Shabbat Shalom. Toda Rabba. Toda Rabba Rabbi Yochanan. Toda Rabba Rabba Rabba. Good luck for you. I know you are working. Toda Rabba. Be'ezrat Hashem. Toda Rabba. Bye bye tzadikim. Bye.
This is history. The chief rabbinate of Africa presents the Siddur Sambatayim, the Siddur, neither Sephardic, nor Ashkenazi but Afriki. Reconnect with the pure ancestral traditions of your Bantu Israelite ancestors, with a new sack of tefillah that perfectly combines the halakhot of the Mishnah and the minhagim of the Mekabalim, with a new sack of Friki. Live the Black Man Torah, with the first Siddur published and printed in Africa. To grab your Siddur, only one address, Beth Nessa, Bantu Israel Synagogue, Lagos, 27 Canal View Drive, Ago Code at Go Palace Way, Lagos, Nigeria. Mobile number, +2348035382223. Only 35,000 naira, delivery included.